Hello, children. Today we will be starting with the new topic clauses and phrases. So, now let us see what are clauses. A clause is a group of words that forms part of a sentence and has a subject and a finite verb of its own. That means when what is a clause is a part of a sentence. It is not a full sentence. It is just a part of a sentence where it has a subject. You all might have done subject and predicate in the types of in when you in your previous classes. uh, Now it is a clause is a part of a subject and it has a finite verb. It has a subject and a finite verb. What is a finite verb? It is predicate, and when both of them are combined together it forms a clause. For example, let us see. I lost a blue pen. The group of words printed in bold, a blue pen, forms a phrase because it does not have a finite verb. So now a blue pen is a phrase, while I lost a pen which is blue in color. So now in the second one, the in this which is blue in color has a finite verb is, and the subject is which. So it will be called a clause. Hope you have understood. Now let us see what is a sentence. A sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense and has at least one finite verb. That means there will be one finite verb. Finite means countable. Fine. Now let us move on to the next. A phrase. What is a phrase? Or definition of phrase. A phrase and a clause forms part of a sentence, but they are very different from each other. A phrase does not have a finite verb. For example, in this we had done, I lost a blue pen. A blue pen is a phrase, while if we say which is, if we are including which is, that means it is a clause. We are adding a condition to it. All right. So clause means a condition that is being added to a sentence. Now there are certain points that we should remember in a sentence, in a phrase, and a clause. So these points are: a sentence can always stand on its own. So sentence does not require anything like I am a girl. A phrase cannot stand on its own. So whenever there's a phrase, it needs some supportive or it needs a condition. But a phrase wearing a black hat, and if you see in this, wearing a black hat is a clause because wearing is a non-finite verb. Wearing can be anything. That is uncountable. How many times you have worn or whatever, it is not well defined. So it is a I saw a boy wearing a black hat. This means that the boy is wearing a black hat. Now, in the third point to remember, a clause may stand on its own or it may not. If a clause stand on its own, it is a sentence. So now, if a clause, that is, if clause means you can say condition. If the condition is like if the condition is or the clause is independent, then it is a complete sentence. While if it does not stand while if it does not stand on its own, then it is a clause. All right. Now let's move on to the next. If it does not stand on its own, that is, if it is dependent on somebody, then it must be a part of a sentence. All right. Then it must be a part of a sentence which consists of two or more clauses. For example, he saw a boy who was wearing a black hat. Now the condition is who. Fine. Here the condition is who. Who is wearing a black hat? So this is sentence is a clause because subject subject is who and the finite verb is wearing. So boy who was wearing a black hat. So that means the boy was past continuous tense. He has been wearing that hat. Is it clear? So now let's move on to the next point. Now let us discuss the exercise A, which these all slides you will be doing in your copy. All right. Write the phrase and underline the clause among the following group of words printed in bold. Tapan lives in the house across the road. So across the road is a phrase. Jeet is a girl who has great courage. Who has great courage is a phrase. I tried to learn French but in vain. To learn French is a phrase. The cat hid under the table. Again, it is a phrase. Jyoti was studying when we called her. This is a clause. See, at times the clause uh, or the subject can come after the infinite verb. Jyoti was studying. This is the condition. Was studying when we called her. So this is a clause. Okay, boys. Take care and have a nice day. See you in the next video.